back to InHerSelf podcast,
where we talk about faith, family, finance, and friendship.
So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on all social media platforms.
And make sure to turn your notifications on to be notified whenever we post new content. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
I'm off beat bad.
Bad? What's going on?
I don't know. Lately I've been hanging around my mama a lot, and baby don't have no rrhythm, nothing.
You're not going to do Tanya like that.
It's the truth.
No, because Tanya used to sing in the choir.
I don't know how.
What do you mean? She could be a choir director. Don't play with her. She said she hold up bottle. Happy birthday.
Baby can't sing. She don't have no coordination, like nothing.
So where do you get it from?
I don't know.
Granny can sing.
Granny can sing.
And she sings soprano.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell her you be mocking her though.
You can.
Granny.
She don't watch this.
She gonna watch this episode because your mama gonna tell her.
Gonna tell her.
Yes. Granny, heaven be mocking you singing.
Because I want to sound like her.
Okay, do it.
No.
You lucky I can't do how you do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna embarrass me and her.
Don't do that because Granny can sing.
She can, but I don't do it. I do it trying to be funny. I don't do it sounding great.
Yeah. I mean, anyway.
Yeah. Whatever.
That's awesome. Looking like your mama.
I know. Love that for me, right?
Right.
Great looking lady.
And she can sing too.
No. This is not even podcast topic, but I just thought about how he was talking about my dad and how you was like, I'm not even going to say that.
What?
Anyway.
No, because now you're going to make it like I said something that was crazy. I don't even know what I said.
No, you just said he's back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, so if we going to start off about how our week was, that's how my week has been. My dad is back.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah, my dad is back,
I love that for you.
He goes to and fro.
Because that's not a good scripture in the Bible.
It ain't. He goes away and then he comes back. And so he has returned.
Oh. Prodigal.
Is the prodigal son.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, he has returned though. We'll see how long this lasts. I think from the last conversation about boundaries and offense and all of that, I don't get in my feelings. It's a, hey, how you doing? No, I don't. And what's crazy? I reached out to him first this time because I was like, where you been? Like, you all right? What's going on?
Oh, you miss him.
It's not that I miss him. I just want to make sure he all right.
It's okay to miss him.
I don't, because what is there to miss?
The presence of you being absent. That don't even make no sense. But
yeah, I don't. No, I understand what you mean, but I don't necessarily miss him because we don't really have conversation. It's always a good morning, enjoy your day, and that's it until the next day.
He sent you a picture this time, though.
Yeah. He did.
It was very nice.
It was very nice. I just take what I get to sum it up.
I mean, but it has been improvement.
Okay.
I can't even be serious. Because what? Okay.
I think sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. And because this situation... No, not no woe is me. But this situation is so like... It's a tough situation for me because I don't have no daddy. I do, but so I just really just be laughing about it so it won't get all tense and all of that stuff because I don't have time. It is what it is type thing.
You're such a thug.
With this situation, I try to be because a lot of people out here that daddy is not no good. So it's like, it's not just you.
Yeah.
I'm on a platform to talk about the fact that I don't have a great relationship with my dad, but I'm not the woe is me chick. I just pray that I believe that it's going to get better. That's my hope and my prayer for you because I know you desire that. As bad as you the comments that you make, I know that comes from a pure place. Even though it's we laughing about it, we joking about it, but I genuinely pray for both of us, honestly. But I really pray that for you that he definitely, becomes the father figure that you desire. I do, because I know that's what you genuinely long for. Yeah. I would probably want to say no, but yeah, sure. But that leads us into my response to him because I wanted to say, where you been, but I said, I got to meet him at the level that he is at. Mm-hmm. And if all he could say is good morning, great morning, hugs and kisses, enjoy your day. But I also just want to make sure that he's good. I don't know the mind frame or the state of mind that he's in. So when he did go ghost, I was like, let me make sure you ain't out on the street.
Yeah, I pray that God blows your mind that capacity. Like, we touring, he on a tour bus, like it's a whole relationship.
I think that's a lot.
It is, but you never know. God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly, and I think that is not your wildest imagination. You know what I mean? I mean, not a capacity of like that only. I mean, the relationship is pure.
Yeah.
I do genuinely desire wholeness in our lives, but we're talking about you and your life in that capacity. I genuinely, that is my prayer. I'm gonna go in my closet about that.
Yeah, I just want him to be a good granddad to whatever, however many children that I decide.
And father, he can't be a good grandfather unless he's a great father. That's first.
Yeah, it is. But I'm saying he'll have a different opportunity to maybe be around them when they're young till they get older, you know? But enough of that. How was your week?
So it was. So what was your response? You said.
My response to him?
Mm-hmm.
The old heaven would have been like, where you been? I don't even have the capacity for that because I don't really necessarily care where you been.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that you were good. And so he was like, I said, I text you, what you didn't respond back. He was like, oh, I didn't see it or whatever. And then I could tell it was like, he was like, oh, you made my day. You make me happy. So I think sometimes when he texts me, I don't respond because I know he'll text the next day and say good morning. So he probably gets weary, or he'll probably be like, she not responding back to me. It is what it is. I'm not going to respond. So I was like, let me be the big girl and just reach out to him and see how you're doing.
That's really big of you. I think on my end for sure, especially this week.
Yeah.
Like my dad is in the hospital currently and he's been experiencing some ongoing, issues health wise for the last 2 years specifically. So that's been challenging just because of it is a broken relationship. I'm trying to be there for him as much as I can. Not married or have any, spouse to kind of help support. My uncle has been awesome and trying to just keep tabs on. We kind of bouncing off of each other, but I think it's hard because it's challenging because of the fact that I'm not even looking for an established relationship with him right now. I just want him to get better. You know what I mean? To genuinely have the best life as possible with these last however many years that God allows him to be, in the earth. So it's been challenging because he's not always willing to just allow people to be present for him. And he has this reality in his head that he believes. And so watching that is hard. I have so much compassion now till it's crazy.
Yeah, you do.
I did not have that before though. And I know that's attributed to God. Like my prayer has been, Father, let me see him how you see him. I don't care about what my experiences is or what my offenses are. I desire to view him through your lens. And he has been faithful in doing that. I have so much compassion for him because of the fact that your reality is your truth. Like what you experienced as a child, he talks about his childhood. He talks about his marriages. He talks about, fatherhood. And he believes he's been there for everybody.
Yeah.
And nobody is there for him. And that is sad to me because that's not anyone else's reality. But I have to respect the fact that that's where you are.
But I remember earlier this week, you was telling me that the Lord was telling you, instead of looking at all the bad situations, like try to remember the good situations. Granted, I feel like the bad do outweigh the good, but do you recall any of the good memories? Like, do you have?
So it's funny you say that because I was watching the podcast with Tabitha Brown and she was saying like finding your purpose and different things like that, and how we find that is by remembering and recalling the thing that you did when you was a child that somebody probably told you, oh, you're not making no money doing that, or you were just, that was your space of your creativity. And I had such a challenging time trying to remember what that space was for me because I did remember majority of just bad things. And so the Lord definitely dealt with me and said, you have to dig a little bit deeper. You didn't, it wasn't all bad.
Right.
You may have allowed those circumstances to look like it was, but I do remember like riding my bike from school. He used to ride bikes together to school, drop me off at, in Tampa. And he would ride both of our bikes back and then come back and get me. And I used to beg him, like, please, I want to ride by myself. I can do it. I can do it. He's like, no, because, the traffic. And even though we lived just a couple blocks, it wasn't too far. But again, I'm like 6, 7 years old. And he's like, you're not riding by yourself. And so I was like, please, please, please. And then one day he was like, I begged him so much. And so he was like, okay. And he talks about that to this day. And he's like, I was so scared. I was so nervous, but you had this smile on your face like you did it. And I remember it. I felt like I was a big girl. Like I finally did.
We are so excited to officially announce that we have launched our Patreon. By signing up, you will become a member of our InHerSelf community. You'll receive exclusive access to our content that is only available to our Patreons, such as behind the scenes, live discussions, and Discord. But most importantly, first dibs on new merch. To register, visit our link tree in the bio or the description below. See you at the circle.
I remember stuff like that of being at the Boys and Girls Club, and he would come by and bring boiled peanuts and orange soda or grape soda or whatever. It's those little things that I recall that brought me joy.
Right. And I think that that's the space that the Lord probably wants us to kind of stay in, because when we start thinking about what you didn't do and how you didn't do it and why you didn't do it, it's like, I don't even like you. But at one point, I did like you. Granted, I don't have those stories. I got one little itsy bitsy story of me going to a family reunion or something, but I will never forget that day because it was like a day that I got to spend with my dad. Granted, I was 6.
We were both proud,
and I was 30.
Yeah.
But still, it was like, oh my gosh, I will never forget. I can tell the story. I told it to you earlier this week. I can tell you the story from beginning to end on how much I enjoy being with my dad. I just felt like an outsider because I didn't know the family that I was around. But that's just a situation I will never forget.
Because it was impactful.
Right.
It was a moment of time where literally the world didn't stop, but everything else stopped.
It felt like it.
And you were in that moment. You embraced the moment. We both embraced. And so because you captured that, it was life lasting. Like it was going to be forever.
Yeah.
And so I definitely recall those moments. I remember he taught me how to drive. Like my mom was mad because he took me on the interstate and I have not now license. And I'm not talking about, we here now, but I'm not talking about like 16. I'm like
12,
10.
Oh, okay.
Right. I remember that. I remember just a lot of things. He Shorty, that was my name. I'm Shorty. And so everywhere I went, everywhere he went, I was there. And so even after him and mom split up or whatnot, that's why I think I took it so hard, was because that's my dad, man. Like, I know what people say, whatever, but I don't care. Like, he rocking, I'm rocking.
Yeah.
And so when you stopped showing up, it made me feel like, what did I do?
Because I'm like, you only wanted me clearly because of my mama. There's just no way in the world that you wanted me outside of my mom because you didn't show up. But I also have to, I can't never put myself in his shoes because I'm not a man. So I don't know how that goes. But sometimes it just feels like either I didn't know how to be a dad because I didn't have one, or I didn't feel like there was space and opportunity too. My mom got married, so he didn't want to step on toes. He didn't want to do all of this. Granted, none of this is an excuse, but a lot of it keeps me from saying I'm straight on you, and it allows me to have opportunity to say, okay, I do want the relationship. I don't know what the future holds or how it's going to even look because I don't know the man outside of a text message. But like you say, I do desire it. I just don't know. I have to protect my heart because if I do allow it and he treat me like the 6-year-old that was left at Western Union, I'm going to be in my feelings.
And so that's why I said we are in our fathers are in 2 different places. Like I have better memories when I was younger, and now looking at him in the state that he's in and trapped in his mind with being like, he can't even show up because not that he don't want to, he can't mentally. And so it's challenging. I have to pull on the past. And because you don't have that, that's why I said my desire is that your latter is greater. You didn't have it in your past, but I pray that because he is in his right mind, he does have the capability to do so, that one day that the Lord just touches his heart and is like, okay, well, I'm going to do what I can. But I think it's all about our response to when we're ready to see and respond to our fathers and mothers and whomever else it may be, in a positive light, because it's not fair to hold people to a standard that they didn't know that they needed to be held at.
It's not.
At the end of the day, like we say this all the time, like there's no manual, there's no book about motherhood, right? And we desire to be better than our parents. But then when our children grow up and we know that we didn't get it right, that same level of understanding that we hope that our children, we have to extend that to our parents. We have to. If you want to receive the same level of grace that you desire, you have to extend it. And so even though, no, I don't feel like my children experience the turmoil or the circumstances that I experienced, their truth is still their truth too. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, like that's where I stand. That's what my response is. And speaking on response, it's like, that's the area, I'm reading Bait of Satan. And the chapter that I'm on right now is talking about how you were offended and your offense is right. Meaning like that person tried you, that person manipulated, that person lied, that person did all that, no matter who it is, church, job, sister, cousin, brother, you were right. They offended you. But your response was wrong. Calling all new entrepreneurs and business owners. Are you looking to scale your business or plan your next big event? Well, Eva's agency is just for you. Unique systems such as automations, vendor management, and establishing SOPs are just a few services that they offer. But don't forget about event planning. To schedule a free consultation, go to their website at www.evas.agency today.
So now you're
wrong. And so I have been praying and asking God, like, show me what I'm doing wrong. Like, I know I'm talented. I know I'm gifted. But why do I feel like I keep getting overlooked? Like, what am I doing that's wrong? And that was the answer. He was like, daughter, I need you to understand that the position and the place that I put you in, I put you there. I allowed it to be so because there's a level of character building that I'm doing. And yes, I knew that they were going to do that. And yes, they said and they did. But I told you to respond in love. Bless those that persecute you. Bless those that curse you. Yes, it's easy to love when they loving on you. But can you love them still when they are not? And that's what you were not doing. You took on the characteristics of what the enemy wanted you to pick up.
I want my get back.
And vengeance don't belong to you.
No, it does not. But I want my lick back. I want my money back.
ASAP.
I want the time that I put in back. I want it all back. But that does not make you right.
And you were not right.
And understand that my bite and my bark it's gonna overshadow anything that you did, because I'm gonna say anything to hurt your feelings. And now it negates whatever you done did, because you were wrong. You called them every name in the book. You're not there for them no more. You don't care about them no more. And God is not pleased with that.
I'll do one better. It was the complaining. It wasn't, I didn't always retaliate, but I would complain. I would, oh my God, but you did. You did. And so it was, yes, that's true. But why are you complaining about it? Why do you? And he reminded me of the children of Israel. They were walking around the promise. You are right. You are right there. And so, but I am determined to get it. And I got it. And so this week we was just on a 30-day challenge.
Fast.
That ended.
Yes.
A couple days ago. And so much revelation that came out. We don't eat meat right now. We took a break from no wine, no alcohol, no anything of that nature. And when I tell you, God has been faithful in humbling situations around us to make us see him and to see him work because of our obedience of sacrificing the things that social media, sacrificing meat, sacrificing sugar, sacrificing, and not because of a health. Those things are healthy, granted, but it wasn't primarily because that was because I felt like he was saying, what are you willing to give up?
Yeah.
To gain? Mm-hmm. What are you willing to lay on the altar to get closer to me?
Yeah.
And whatever he threw, I'm like, okay, you said no social media, bet. You don't want us to eat no turkey, no beef, no ham, no pork, no chicken.
For a clear mind.
Yes.
For a clear mind. So when the test comes, you're not all over the place.
You can see.
And you're not acting off of just impulse. You like, I should respond in this way a little bit different because the outcome will be different. I'm so sick of the same outcome. Something has to change. I'm so sick of getting to the front line, making a mistake and having to go all the way to the back of the line. I'm no longer operating like that. And it really is in the small things because this week my battery went out. My initial response when anything goes wrong is to holler and scream and cuss and fuss because why me and what? But I got in the car and said, oh, okay, love this. The battery, the car won't start. Amen. But I got to go to the gym. So I'll take care of this car a little bit later. I'm going to go to the gym. I got back in the car and I said, okay, so we're going to try to jump it. I had to jump it. It was just a lot of things that was happening. I had to jump the car. My mom was there, but she didn't know what she was doing. So I had to jump the car by myself. Then I had to drive to AutoZone. And then I'm like, they told me how much this battery was. I said, Lord, what you want me to do? Because this battery is $1 million and my $1 million that I got gonna be taken when I gotta pay for this battery. Attention beauty seekers in the Tampa and Riverview area. Are you ready to elevate your beauty game? Our team of skilled makeup artists who specialize in full and natural glams are here to make your beauty dreams a reality. Whether it's for a special occasion or just because, we've got you covered. To book a makeup consultation for your next event, email them at monetthemua@gmail.com. Transform your look, transform your life. Book now with Monet, the MUA. But it was all in my response because I was about to get rowdy and say, I can't afford it. And the man said, I got you. And so the Lord gave me insight and say, if you too quick to respond, how am I going to have you and you yelling like that? Yelling and screaming and me operating in your blessings don't go together.
Come on.
So I need you to relax. And I said, okay, Lord. And that man got it down real nice. To the price that I desire. But the Lord reminded me, if you would have jumped, that wouldn't have happened. So I have to take that in everything that I do now. Yes, that was minute. Yes, it was a battery. Like, thank God that it wasn't an alternator or whatever. But it wasn't even about the battery. It was a lesson in the battery.
It's the response.
It's the response.
It is your response every single time. I don't care. This entire month has been responding. Mm-hmm. How are you going to respond? Yet, are you going to be upset? You can be upset, but don't sin. Mm-hmm. Don't get irate. Don't throw a temper tantrum like you're 3 years old. And then I have the audacity to get upset with my 3-year-old who's doing what she's supposed to be doing. Yeah. And here I am, grown behind, throwing a temper tantrum like I don't know no better. Mm-hmm. Like, stop.
We say everything that we go through goes through the Lord first. And then you cut up knowing that the Lord allowed it.
A fool.
You got to be for real.
A fool.
You got to be for real. It's a test.
But when you in the middle of it, you can't see it. Mm-mm. And that reminds me of like when Joseph or David, they didn't know. We know because we see the end.
Right.
We know how the story ended. But they didn't know while they were in the midst of it. So I constantly remind myself, like, this is a story that's being written, but he knows the end.
Yeah.
And so you got to be faithful to what we read, faithful to what the stories and the testimonies that he has brought me out time and time and time again, even when my response was wrong. So imagine when I respond right.
Come on.
What is going to happen?
Yes.
Like, be for real.
And know that your response has influence. I don't have any children, but I know if I act a certain way and my children get in the same situation, they're going to cut up like that. If I'm outside with my friends, the friends that I have, if I jump, okay, we all got to jump. But it's like, if you respond that way, then okay. We don't have to respond that way. We don't have to smack her.
You could put out fires.
You can.
With your response.
With your response. The influence of your response is impactful.
It's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility. Yes. Yes.
So that's what my week has consisted of, yo. Like I understood more for the first time in my life in this fast, what my mom meant when she said, God is not the school system. Now, I think I said this on a previous podcast before, not understanding completely, like, at the end of the day, God is not the Hillsborough County school system. He's not Polk County. He's not California. Whatever school you went to, he is not that. You will go through that test over and over and over and over again until you get it. And for years, it wasn't that I wasn't right in being offended. It was my response.
Yeah.
And so now, even when it comes to my dad, when it comes to my children, my husband, when it comes to you, when it comes to anybody that I'm connected to, I have learned to just be quiet. Because you can pray on the inside and not say nothing.
I mean, be still and know.
And I'm talking to the Lord and not saying nothing, saying, how you want me to respond? Because I'm going to be still right now.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? You want to be quiet?
I'll do that.
You want me to watch the way that I say it? You want me to say it in a stern way, in a loving way? How do you want me to respond? And if he says nothing, I say nothing. If he says say, he will order a good man, a righteous man's steps are ordered by the Lord. I'm seeking him in all things. Not when I feel like it. Not when, all right, Lord, I got you. When he said, I want the whole house in everything. Lord, I get up in the morning, Lord, what you want me to wear? Is this appropriate? Am I representing the kingdom well?
Yeah.
In all things. And when I tell you there's a peace that comes, that fight, I don't want to fight no more, bro.
No, but why not operate through him? And he's the one that woke you up. He's the one that knows how your day is going to end. Why not say, Lord, how do you want me to respond? How do you want me to walk? Should I go here, God? Why not ask him? And he directs anyway. Why not? Because then you're going to ask him when you go left and you were supposed to go right. So you might as well consult first and then move.
It's so much easier to do it right the first time, because to repair what didn't have to be repaired, it takes more work. It takes more effort. If I can build the bookshelf right the first time, and I'm saying a bookshelf because that was a real experience for me, even this bookshelf over here, I put it together wrong and had to take it apart and redo it. If you read the instructions right the first time.
That's a word.
If you read it right the first time, take your time, make sure, look at the picture, look at the instructions, make sure that you're doing it right the first time. I wouldn't have to waste another hour and I still got to put it up.
Right.
But now I don't wasted an hour.
Regardless.
What if I took all of the pieces out of the box, make sure I have everything that I have that's necessary for it to be set up properly. Read the instructions as I go, not read it and then do it. Sometimes you got to make sure you read what you read right.
And then read it again.
And then read it again.
Yeah.
And then action it. That's our life. Read the word.
Understanding that everything that we go through is in
Genesis, baby.
Everything that we go through. I mean, I know that a lot of us don't know where to go in the Bible, but Lord, I'm feeling depressed. Not Lord. Google, I'm feeling depressed. It'll say, all right, boom, here go a Bible verse. I'm feeling suicidal. Here go a Bible verse. I'm feeling lonely. Here go. Like, the manual is there. So there's really no excuse. It's an easy way to just try to figure it out ourselves, but you're going to get yourself in more trouble trying to figure it out yourself instead of looking at the manual first.
The number one reason is because you feel like you're losing time. Like you don't want to wait on it. This generation is suffering major because of lack of patience. Guilty.
Fast pace.
I want it right now. I feel like I'm behind. I'm 35. I'm supposed to be here. My friends, my coworkers, my colleagues, everybody moving, and I'm stuck. And here's the thing, you're still going to be stuck. And you're going to do it again.
Yes.
So you might as well. I don't know what pastor I was watching on Instagram, and she was saying, you'll be amazed about how many Christians that have never read the Bible from cover to cover. And they've been Christians for years. not reading to understand, just simply reading. He never said that you had to read line by line and understand line by line. He does the interpretation. If you just simply open it up. And so now I don't read for necessarily an understanding. I read because I'm, number one, supposed to read.
Right.
And as I read, he makes it known to me. He makes me understand it and apply it to my life. And then I find it coming up in conversation, in circumstance, in situation. We're sitting talking and I got like a scripture just popping up in my head because I'm like, oh,
yep,
that makes sense.
New revelation every time. Every time. So my response is hallelujah. You're my redeemer. That's a song. They don't know that. But this was a great conversation. So we're going to end it with a song.
What a song.
Now I was going to sing the outro, but it just don't give that. We got music in the back now. So, but as always, in herself, she is love.
In herself, she is beautiful.
In herself, she is strong. See you next week.
See you next week.